Hi, Kathy here from Kathy's Cute Creations. Today we're going to be making a cozy bowl. Let me tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need two 10-inch squares. You're going to need two 9-inch pieces of batting. Now this is where you can use your scraps if you've been making other projects and you have scraps. And then we're going to need two 9.5-inch. Now if they're a little bit bigger than 9.5, that's fine. You just don't want to go bigger than 10. And this is what it is. It's called Shape Flex. Right there. I've used all mine up. It is fusible on one side and not the other. It is 100% cotton, in case you didn't see, because everything needs to be sewn with 100% cotton when we make this project if you want to put it in your microwave. Now I know I've heard all the stories about people saying that their bow cozy will blow up in the microwave. It will catch fire. La da 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 da. Well, let me tell you what. That bow cozy is just like a pot holder. If you put your pot holder in the microwave and you don't have any kind of dampness with it, yes, it's going to catch on fire. Let's use common sense here. When you're putting food in the microwave, food is wet, not dry. Okay? The dampness of the wet object that you've put in that microwave is what keeps everything else from blowing up and catching fire. Same with your paper plate that you put in there. All right, if you're going to put it in there dry, it's going to eventually catch on fire too because it's absorbing all the moisture out of it. That's what causes that. So let's just use some common sense. And normally what I'm cooking when I put this in the microwave is a bowl of oatmeal or a bowl of soup or something I wanted heated, but I don't want to touch it. Anyway, get your favorite fabric. I have Christmas fabric, and this is where we're going to learn how to do quilting so we can eventually do our Christmas quilt we just finished on Monday. Now, to each piece, turn it upside down. Put it right side down on the ironing board. Iron this. You want to use spray starch, water, whatever, but I personally don't want to use spray starch because I don't know what's in it. I don't know if that's made out of 100% cotton and can be put in the microwave. Then, take your square. Now, when you're looking at your square, it actually has two sides. This has a little bit of a rough side. This has a nice smooth side, which feels more fluffy. I'm taking the fluffy part and putting it towards the wrong side of fabric. And the reason I'm doing that, and I'm putting it about in the middle the best I can, okay? And the reason for this is that you want this part right here, which is going to be facing the bed of your sewing machine, to be the part that doesn't get all that fuzzies down in your machine. We're trying to keep the machine clean while we do this. Now, this, which was the pellin, is 100% cotton. The glue is on this side. I put that towards this. Now remember, this was 10 inches, 9 inches, 9.5 inches. So this is going to go a little bit over. So you're going to square it up on there. And then we're going to slowly iron it. Make sure this is the side that doesn't have the sticky. Just adhering this top piece onto the batting. Now this, the reason I do it this way is two reasons. One, it's going to make my bow cozy a little stiffer. And two, this is going to keep the batting from getting in my machine. Let's see. Now once you've ironed it on there, and some of it will adhere to the side like this has right here. So it made a wrinkle. So just take it and it'll come right up. See that? Okay. We are going to go from one end to the other. If you want to change your color on your sewing machine and you don't want to use white, you don't want to use cream, it doesn't make any difference, whatever color you use, now's the time to do it. Keeping in mind it doesn't make any difference what your bobbin is because the bobbin's going to be on this. Nobody's going to see this. This is going to be on the inside of the bow cozy. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I don't think I want to use white thread. I think just because it's got red, yellow, green in there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a red thread on here. Keeping in mind, everything must be cotton. I know this sounds redundant to keep saying this, but I cannot stress it enough because if you use polyester or half cotton, half polyester, your bow cozy will fall apart. The heat of the microwave will melt the polyester. And after you've gone to all the trouble to make this the way you want to make it, and maybe you're going to give it to somebody, you don't want it to fall apart. So let me get my red thread. Now, if you feel like you need a walking foot, go ahead and get it so that you can use it. I personally don't need a walking foot. The first thing I'm going to show you is the easiest way to do this. If you are scared to death to do any kind of freehand embroidery, this is your first one, and you really just want to get one done, I'm going to show you the best, fast, easiest way to do it. Then the next one I will show you, because I've got 2 sets here that I'm going to work on. I'll show you the freehand embroidery. So change your foot if you want to change it. I'm not going to. I'm going to start at the end. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put a leader ender on that, because I don't want it to get hung up in my corner. So first, let me get this, because it doesn't really make any difference what color I sew these seams in. I'm using the 2.5. I'm not going any smaller or any bigger. And I'm going right here on the tip of that. Now, if you don't feel that you can eyeball from that tip to this one here, then draw yourself a line with your friction pen or a very thin pencil, and we're just going straight on down. I've done it enough times I can do it. And then I smooth this out as I go. Now, I didn't pin it, I didn't spray starch it, I didn't anything it. It's just all sticking together. And then we get down here to the end, curve it a little bit to make sure it goes off, and go right off the fabric. Stop, take it out. You're going to flip it, you're going to go to the other end. Going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a leader ender in there. I do not want that getting stuck in that corner. That'll make a mess in my corner. And then we're going to do the same thing. Now, I smooth the fabric out as much as I can to get up here to the tip, so I don't get any bulk in here. And I'm holding on to this a little bit to put a little bit of tension, so that when it comes down here, it doesn't bunch up and end up getting like this. Okay, so that's why I smoothed it out that way first. Let me get you a little closer. Shucks, I just realized y'all were so far away. Okay. And here we go. Right down here to the end. There we go. Right off the edge. There we go. Now we cut this. Go ahead and take these leader enders off. Just set them aside. And what you're doing, the process of this, is you are making sure that all 3 of these pieces stay together. Now we're going to go and we're going to pick one of the ends. Now here's where you're going to decide whether you're batting. Now this batting is very low loft. If you have something thicker and it's going to have a tendency to pull over on itself, then what you want you to do is go down to the middle of this, right here where the intersection is, and you're going to come on the back side of this intersection. You're going to look and put your needle down. You're going to try to position it so that it goes over that middle X that you've just created. And we're going to go all the way to the end down here. And I'm still pulling out a little bit, trying to smooth it, keep it all smooth. We're going to cut it off, turn it totally around, and then we're going to go right on this side now, and we're going to go ahead and go over what we've done, what we've stitched. Let me get you a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. You're going to put your needle right in here, which has already been sewn on. And then you're going to sew straight down to the end of this, going over that thread that you just did. Just like that. We're going to cut it. And then you're going to repeat the process. So now you're going to go on this other side that hasn't been sewn yet, and you're going to start down here towards the middle, but not in the middle. And you want your thread to sew right over that middle where the other have. So just go straight over, going all the way to the end. We'll cut it. We'll go one more, make sure it totally goes. Cut it off, and then we'll repeat the process. Don't need to cut that thread yet. It doesn't make any difference. You can wait and cut all the ends at the very end if you'd like, or cut each one, your preference, all the way to the end here. Now we're not going to cut our thread now. We're just going to stop it right before it gets off. All right. Now, just so you don't forget, let's cut our end pieces. All right, I got one more to go. There we go. Now, all of the sides are done. The two ends and the inside ones. So once you've stopped here, you're going to turn it, and what you're doing, your objective is to go from this corner where you stopped sewing to the one on the other end over here. Let me see if you can see it all on the camera. You cannot, so let me... Okay, so your objective is to go from this corner to this corner. From this corner to this corner. And that's what we're going to do all the way around. Like I said, if you cannot do it by eyeballing, go ahead and get that pencil and that marker out and do it that way. Go right to the edge. One more. And we're going to turn it, and we're going to do the same thing and repeat it. And notice, nothing needs to be backstitched. And there you go. All finished. Let me back it up here so I can show it to you. Just like that. That's what it looks like. Now, if you have finished with that and you want to do the other side, by all means, do the other side the same way. Now, I'm going to show you a different way. This bar right here came with my machine. And I don't know if you can... So right here on this back side is a hole, and that's where this goes. And this is a marker. Let me show you. It comes out the other end, and it marks the distance that you sew. So if I had a line right here, I would follow this line, and it'll make it the exact same length. The first thing is you need to decide, do you want to have straight lines coming forward, or do you want to have them going catty corner? Or we can have them catty corner and then this way, or we can have them this way and go this way. So whichever direction you want to, you just need to start. And I would put, let me give you an idea how wide this is. Keeping in mind that the needle is over here. You're not measuring from this foot to that. The needle's right there. That's where the needle goes down. And right now that is 1 3/4 inch from the needle. If you want to make it easy, go 2 inch, just move it over a little bit. This right here is a tight fit for my machine. You don't want this to move from the vibration of your sewing machine. So all I got to do is just pick a spot. So if I want to go right here for the very beginning and just, that's about halfway down. And now I don't need to worry about the leader ender because I'm not coming off of a corner. I'm coming straight down the fabric. So it should not jam. All right, let's go. And I've got the same 2.5 inch. I didn't make it any bigger or any smaller. Just keep it as straight as you can. Take that off. Now we're going to move over. And now I have this lined up right there on my fabric. And actually, I'm going to lift it up a little bit. And I'm not watching this, I'm watching this. It can be consistently crooked. We'll do it again. Oops, I didn't come off far enough. Hold on. Go back up a little bit. There we go. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to go the other direction. Now, if you want to stop, there's no reason you can't stop. This has been quilted down enough that it's not going to come apart from use. If you'd like to go ahead and go this direction with it, then we can do boxes. Let's do this. And I'll make it, first I'm going to get approximation of the middle. I'm going to go straight down. Now you can go uniform or go ahead and move this over some more, which I'm going to move it over so that I'm only going to do it 2 more times. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make it right here. Flip it around and do the same thing over here. And now it looks like that. So that's 2 finished. Now I'm going to go on and I'm going to do the free motion with this red one here. So I'm going to take this foot off and put a different foot on. This is my favorite foot. That's what I use. Now this is where I would be changing my bobbin to either red or black. Okay, so first off, I already know that I'm about 17 minutes into this film, so it's going to have to be a 2-parter. You're going to have to know how to do the tension on your own sewing machine to do this freehand. Let me get you started here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put our foot down. We're going to take our needle. We're going to use the flywheel. We're going to put it in to the fabric, and then we're going to bring it out. And then we're going to grab our thread that just came up, which is our bobbin thread. I have mine in black so you can see it. I'm going to start on the corner this way. I won't have any kind of knots, if nothing breaks, that is. First thing you want to do is you want to go up and down in the same spot, and I'm on the edge where I'm going to be doing a seam, so you won't see this in the bowl. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly take it. I'm going to go this way with it. This is the good thing about it. I'm going to pull it to me. This gets me off the bump of where the batting is. And then I'm just going to slowly move around. Now I'm going to put my gloves on because the reason for the gloves, and they're not full gloves, they're just little half things here, but the reason for them is that they grip that fabric. Now I got these at the Crafty Gemini website. I'm going to have to get another pair. These are some really good things, I'm telling you. Okay, now and it's got a grip here, which is like a rubber. And you just hold it onto your fabric. And it's a lot easier to move. And I'm just going around. You can probably barely see it, but I'll show it to you here in a minute. And all you're doing is going all over this piece of fabric. And the faster you can go, the better it is, because your stitches become consistent. I'll tell you what, picking this red color was the wrong color to be showing you because you can barely see it on here. Heck, I can even barely see it. And then you can move this, you can turn this entire thing around. And I know a lot of people don't want you to do that, but I'm telling you, I've done it many a time. And I just go slower when I get up here to the corners. Just so it. Keep your fingers away from it if you're worried about your fingers. I try not to overlap my stitches. In this case, they might be overlapped because I can barely see them. And you know, you can slow down if you get too fast with your feet. And this is all there is to it. You just keep going around. I forgot to look and check my tension, but no, it looks pretty good. I'll show you when I come around the edge here so I can show it to you. Now, if your tension is off, it doesn't make that much of a difference on this project here because nobody's going to see the back of this. It all gets covered inside your bow cozy. Now, if it was something you were going to be putting on the wall or you were going to give to somebody, then that's going to make a difference. And I'll show it to you here in a minute. I'm going to get this edge done here. And sometimes I will take my pinchers here and hold on to my fabric. Let me show you the back of this. And there's the back. So I don't see anywhere that it's off. My tension's pretty good, so. And that's what you're trying to work for, is that right there. You want to, I don't know if you can even see the stitching down here. Barely, maybe. I will use a black on the next one so you can see it. Let me go ahead and just finish this. Okay, so I changed it to the black thread. Hopefully we can see that better. I didn't really want to use white. And if you feel like you can't quilt around the edges here, just keep it in the quilting where the batting is. And if you still feel like this is too small, but you want to make the bow cozy, all you got to do is make your square instead of 10, go ahead and make it a 12 or a 14 inch. Just cut the other two things, your FS101, which is that sticky here, the 100% cotton. Make it so that it'll fit and sandwich them, and then go ahead and do it with a bigger piece. And remember, we're pulling it up because you're bringing your thread up, your bobbin thread up. And hopefully we can see this black. And I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger. See if I can make my stitches bigger. Okay. And you can see it instead of those small little things I was making. And you can also grab your tweezers, which I have a pair right here. If you don't have those grips, that's fine. Just grab your tweezers. You can grab it on the end here. It'll hold your fabric for you. Keep it away from your fingers. If you want to try to do some writing, you can do some writing. You can write on the top of this fabric anything you want and follow it. I find I have difficulty following that kind of stuff. I like to just do it freehand. So let's say that I just wanted to put a heart in here. If I drew a heart, I'd never make it. I don't know why, but I can't. So I just go along here. Right here. Get the habit of my circles. Just practicing here. You can make this go anywhere you want. There we go. Go down. playing with it. I mean, I'm not even going to look at it when I use it. Make yourself a snowman here. Actually, let's go over here. The snowman here is his head. The next one, I'm not too good about going this direction. We'll go this way here. Go back down. Make his body here. Just a little bit. There you go. Keep on going. I know I'm making a mess because I'm just, doesn't need to be perfect. And if you don't like it when you're done with it, you can always throw it away. Nobody said you gotta hold on to it. Heck, you could turn this into a wash rag, I guess. And just practicing, that's all you're doing. That's it. Just keep on going. Practice the whole thing. It doesn't need, nothing needs to be perfect in it. See, you're just doing the back. That's all you're doing. When you're all done, you feel like you're finished. Cut it apart and that's it. Because this is going to hold. I mean, I don't need that much quilting on it to get it to hold this cozy bow. Or bow cozy. Before we leave this video, here's what you need next. A lid. The top of a lid. Or this, if you've only got this. Doesn't make any difference. I like this size. You need your rotary cutter. Or you need scissors and a pencil. You're going to put your little plate. Let's see if I can go over here and get you a close-up. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now, if you're new and you haven't done it before, get you a friction pin. Put your lid one side right up against the edge of the fabric and the other one up against the edge of the fabric. This is how you know how much to cut off. Take your pin and you're going to want to mark it. If you don't have a rotary cutter and you want to use rulers because you feel like it's safer, take that and cut that off with your scissors. Otherwise, take your rotary cutter and just take it right off the corner like this. That's it. You're going to do that to all four corners on both the top and the bottom of the cozy bow. That's it. It is so much easier to round these corners off than to do them straight, and you'll see it if you've ever made one with squared off corners. You're going to do that to both of them. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you the next steps. And when I say we come back, we're coming back today in about 15 to 20 minutes, whatever allows me to do my increment of time. I think they're either every 30 minutes or every 15. So whatever allows me from one to the next, that's what I'll do. And then we're going to finish it up. There you go. Next part is going to be sewing. That's it for that. And I'll be back for part 2. Thanks everybody for watching. If you like this half of the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. Click the little bell for notifications, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.